Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Mansfield here. Today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about the math lesson. Before we get started, we're going to do a daily routine, nothing new. So what we're going to start off with is if you have a scrap piece of paper, you might want to get it so that way we can do some expanded form. Also, if you have a ruler, you're going to possibly want that as well. If not, that's fine. So, for expanded form, what you do is you think about those math code cards that we have, those blue code cards that we use in the classroom. And I want you to think about what numbers would make up the bigger number. We've done this lots of times in class, so hopefully you remember. So we're going to start off with the number 365. So, what three numbers would I need to have the number 365? So, if I have the number 365, 365 equals 300 plus 60 plus 5. I could write these in any order, but they still make the number 365. 365 equals 300 plus 60 plus 5. What I want you boys and girls to do is I want you to go ahead and do these next two by yourself. Pay really close attention because Mrs. Mansfield might have thrown a little bit of a curveball in there to try and trick you. But I bet you can figure it out because you are all super smart second graders. So tell me what numbers, or write down what numbers go into 222 and 107. I'll give you a moment to write that down. Okay, so if you have finished, that's great, and we can keep on going. If you have not finished writing what numbers make these numbers up, pause the video and you can always join us again in just a moment. So, after you're done this, we're going to do a little bit of measuring. So if you have a ruler at home, please go ahead and get it, but if not, we're just going to estimate. And you've done this in class for daily routines. So you've had your student leaders tell you, show me 1 inch, show me 1 centimeter. So that's kind of what I'm going to have you guys do as well. So what you can do is show me 6 inches. This is 6 inches. Show me 10 centimeters. This is 10 centimeters. So now I want you to find something in your house that is about 12 inches. 12 inches. See if you can find something that's about 12 inches. Mrs. Mansfield has something that's about 12 inches. Actually, I think it's exactly 12 inches. I have the edge of this piece of construction paper that is 12 inches. All right, so after daily routine, we're going to move into the math lesson. So what you'll notice for the math lesson today is it's talking about a little girl named Lynn who wants to decorate a wall in her house or in her room. She wants to use blue and red tiles. So the first 2 pages gives you a certain number of little tiny squares, and they ask you if she would be able to make that pattern and have the exact same number of blue squares as red squares. If you are not able to print the papers at home to color in those squares, what you can do is you can actually use blue and red construction paper and cut out tiny little squares to help you manipulate. Or you could use crayons or markers or colored pencils, and on a scrap piece of paper, the one that you started writing these things on, you could draw those squares and see if you could make them the same number of blue squares and red squares. So those are just some of the ways that I feel like you could do that, whether you can print it at home or not. If you get to the third page is a little bit different, and it says something about how could you count the number of tiny squares without actually counting each and every one. So think about some of the things that we've learned this year. So think about maybe using a doubles equation. Could you use a doubles equation to help you answer how many she has without actually counting 1, 2, 3, and so on. Also, it's asking the same thing. Can she have the same number of blue squares or blue tiles as red tiles? So make sure that you explain how you know if she is able to use the same number of blue squares as red squares, and if that's a pattern that she wants to use. All right, boys and girls, good luck and have fun. I know you'll do awesome. Bye.